I definitely like the people that will stand up for you in rooms that you're not in. That to me is something that's like so important. And I didn't realize how important it was until I went through like a really gnarly situation where there were people like speaking on my name, and I had people that I considered to be my best friends sitting in that room and letting that person just talk about me and like run me over the tracks. And well, hey everyone, welcome back to Going Goddess, the podcast where personal empowerment meets the art of living your best life. I'm Cherry.
And I'm Silver Luna. And today we're going to be diving into a topic that's close to everyone's heart, friendship. Specifically, what makes a friendship truly meaningful and lasting.
Yes, that's right, Silver Luna. Really, I believe that like friendship is one of the greatest, most magical parts of life. But honestly, something that I've really learned a lot this year, and over the last couple of years, is not all friendships are created equal. So today we're going to talk through kind of the core characteristics of friendship framework that defines great friendship. And we'll share some tips for cultivating those qualities, talk through some lessons that we've learned. It'll be great.
Yeah, we'll also be reflecting on our own friendship, the joys, the challenges, and everything in between. I love spending
So,
time with you, Cherry. Let's get started.
same. All right, let's do it. So, defining true friendship. So like what makes a friendship true or real? Earlier or last episode we talked about like soulmates, like someone that you're really connected to. Um, and for me, really, it's all about like mutual respect and trust. Like when you have a friend that respects your boundaries and has your back no matter what, that's gold. And that's been like a really big theme for me is like when I meet someone that's like, oh, this is my boundary, I'm like, ooh, you have boundaries? Ooh, I like that. Like,
Right?
because there's just like so much freedom within boundaries. Because you can kind of know what the limits are and how you can kind of interact within them. And yeah.
Oh, I agree. And seeing people that have boundaries knows it lets me know that they are self-aware to an extent that they know what they like and what they don't like, what they will and won't tolerate. And that means that they know who and what they'll be bringing around me and into my space and into my energy. So I agree
Yes.
100%. It does
Yes.
show just how much respect they have for both themselves and for us. So, and I'd also add that true friendship includes vulnerability. By vulnerability, I mean like the ability to share your authentic self at any time, to make sure that you're able to call whenever you have a hard time and say something and know that you're going to get the same mutual respect back and you're going to be able to be listened to without judgment. But also in the hard times, whenever you do something wrong, you're willing to tell them that they did something wrong, or they're willing to tell me that I did something wrong, not just enable me to continue doing the
Mm.
bad things that I've been doing
That's such a good point.
unintentionally.
Like, that's such a good point to have friends that are willing to call you out on your bullshit, that are not enablers. Because Lord knows that I've had some friends in my past that we were just like trouble together and not in the good way. Like, it was
hmm
just kind of like a spiral. But that vulnerability, like, it really builds trust there. And I believe that trust really is the foundation for everything. Um, but I also think that, great friendships need a balance of giving and receiving. I'm sure we've all experienced this, but have you ever had a friendship that felt like pretty one sided?
Oh my gosh, yes. It is so frustrating. It's exhausting too. Like a strong friendship, it's reciprocal. You need to feel valued and heard on both sides of the coin. It's a two-way street. I mean, I feel like we have been dealing with this a lot lately where I feel like I give a lot, and that's been a part of this growth journey is understanding where if you're giving a lot and not getting the same in return, at least the decency to listen to you or to acknowledge what's going on, then it's probably not a great friendship. So it's
Yeah.
not a one lane highway.
No.
So,
And yeah, I've definitely been caught in those kind of situations myself where it's like, wait, I'm really going out of my way so much for this person. I really care about them. I love them. I want to. But then when it's like time for them to maybe help me out with something and they just like can't be there consistently, like consistently
Mm-hmm.
saying no, oh, I'm busy or whatever, it just kind of shows me like where I stack in their priorities and like why am I giving so much of myself to this person? It
No,
sucks.
exactly. I mean, we actually, Jesus and I just went through this very, very recently where, you know, we
Mm.
have a friend that we had become kind of close with over the last year or so. They were long distance to us, so not super duper close, but it felt like we kept giving and we kept communicating in that relationship that we wanted a friendship, a better bond, and we wanted to spend time with them. And it was just constantly put on the back burner and low priority. And finally it came to a head. And I felt good actually saying for the first time, like, this is exactly what is bothering me. I have tried my hardest. I have told you exactly what I need out of this relationship. And you
Yes.
still have not come through. And even whenever I told them exactly what it would take for them to rectify the situation, they only did half of that. So like,
Ugh,
you know, it's at a point where I'm finally starting to recognize whenever a friend is being a friend and whenever it's not, whenever they're
for
not.
sure. Yeah. Well, and I mean, kudos to you. That is no easy thing, especially when you're like, I'm wanting this connection with you. And
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, to be vulnerable like that. Like, you did your side of the friendship of being vulnerable and honest and like, hey, this is what I'm looking for. And that's something that, I mean, you and Jesus are so intentional about your relationships. And I value that so much. And I learn a lot from it in the way that you will be honest with people of like, hey, this did not check out for me, but I want to rectify it. Like, I want to restore this connection, or versus, I don't know, just like letting things go, just sitting back and seeing how it transpires. And yeah, I really love that about you
Mm-hmm.
guys, that you're proactive.
Yeah, thanks. It's definitely taken a lot of effort to be that kind of person because I did not used to speak up whenever these situations would happen. I would just let it go and, you know, whatever, and learn my lesson. But I think people are getting very used to um, people being docile and just kind of letting it, you know, slide by because they don't want to create an issue out of something that's not an issue. And it's not an issue until it becomes a trend. And I mean, that's how we end up with bad friendships and it's become a
Yeah.
trend.
Yeah. No, totally. And like, I someone told me recently when I spoke up about something, that I was like hurt by, and it was just like, this is a thing that happened. I feel hurt by it. If you didn't mean this, like whatever. And they called me out for being like combative and defensive. And I'm like, whoa, bro, like sharing how I'm feeling is not being combative or defensive. Saying I'm hurt is not like, so yeah, like it's rare actually to find people that are willing to like speak up about things. And we want all of you baddies to be the rare ones too, because it's worth it. Um
Mm-hmm.
and you're doing yourself a disservice when you're not, and like just letting people walk all over you or take advantage of your friendship or your time, um and not saying something. It's not fair to you, and it's really not fair to them. And if it ends in like them calling you combative or defensive, that's like, oh, okay, we are not on the same page whatsoever, because I'm not going to fight with you about how I'm feeling.
Exactly. They're using your vulnerability to their advantage instead of
Ugh.
being a friend and taking that to heart with value and with meaning and trying to make a meaningful change to be a better friend.
Yes, because also like you want to grow in friendships. Like, I'm
Exactly.
so down if they're like, actually, this is why I did that thing, and because of your behavior or your actions or what you said, then I can. Oh my gosh, like,
Mm-hmm.
thank you for calling me out on that. Like, this is a chance for me to grow. I definitely want friendships where I'm growing and not stagnant or just like whatever. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree 100%. So, in that case, let's break down then what we're calling the friendship framework. So we want to have a friendship framework which indicates what we would consider a good friend. So in my opinion, I think the first step would be loyalty. A true friend is somebody that'll stick by you even during the tough times. So whenever you have these moments and you're being vulnerable, they'll still be there by your side, even whenever they're giving you that criticism and that feedback. What do you
Yes.
think?
Yeah. I definitely like the people that will stand up for you in rooms that you're not in. That to me is something that's like so important. And I didn't realize how important it was until I went through like a really gnarly situation where there were people like speaking on my name, and I had people that I considered to be my best friends sitting in that room and letting that person just talk about me and like run me over the tracks. And it was really tough to find that out and really confusing. And yeah, so but we'll get into that a little bit more, I think, in another episode. But I definitely think in addition to loyalty, there's communication, like we talked about already. Being able to talk openly and honestly is a game changer. I mean, no one's a mind reader. Like, no one's a mind reader. Like, guys, we cannot go around
Mm-hmm.
assuming things. Like, if you have questions, if you don't know how someone feels, ask them. If you know how you feel and they're not behaving in that way, or you're feeling like they don't know how you feel, tell them. Like, why not?
Oh my gosh, I agree. I couldn't agree more. I think communication is probably like top of the list, most important um piece of
Yes.
the framework, because that's like all aspects of your life, your relationships, that makes you a good mother, brother, sister, friend, everything. If you don't communicate well, then nobody is going to know what you're thinking, and you're going to be frustrated with how everybody else is responding, and it's just no good. So yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely, communication, that is a pillar.
definitely. And like willing
Mhm.
to maybe talk on the phone about it or like FaceTime about it. Like, communication for me, I'm not a great texter. So,
Okay, so then the third component, I would say the third most important component of the friendship framework is empathy. A
mm,
friend that doesn't just listen, they try to understand what you're feeling. They try to get to the root cause of what is going on with you and actually try to see it from your perspective instead of assuming their own through their own lens.
totally, definitely. And like, that's a place for growth too, because like if okay, my friend is feeling what I'm feeling, and so we can kind of like talk from my perspective, but then if they have another perspective, at least I know that like they understand. Like, what is more frustrating than when you're trying to like share something with a friend and they're like, yeah, but like maybe they didn't mean it like this, or maybe, and it's just like right off the bat they're
Yes.
giving you the other perspective, and you're like, bro, I'm upset about this one thing, and I just need to know that you understand where I'm coming from, and then we can talk about like where that next perspective is. But yeah, empathy, so important
Yes. Oh my gosh,
in
when
every
people play the devil's
relationship.
advocate.
I'm
Yeah.
like,
Right.
so you want to go to fisticuffs, like
Right? Like I don't need a yes man. I just need you to understand what I'm talking about to begin with.
right, right, just
Oh,
yes.
absolutely.
Level set.
Or or hearing people talk about like when I think of empathy, I think of like not giving people any type of care or concern. And right now, I would say the most topical way to exemplify this is with the wildfires, talking about all of the homes that are lost
Mm,
in California right now. And I
mhm.
feel like there are so many people that are like, oh, sucks to be them.
Yeah.
Like they're in Los Angeles, they're wealthy. And then at the same time, we're watching like Channel 5 News on YouTube, and he's doing an interview with a family that has lived in the same home for 40 years and they just watched it burn down. They don't have any renter's insurance, and LA is so expensive that they don't even own their own home. They're just
Yeah.
renting it. So like to watch that happen and to see all of the naysayers that are just writing it off, like that's a prime example of not having empathy, and
100%.
definitely a way we can grow.
Definitely. Yes, I totally agree. And like, just because someone's problems are different than yours doesn't mean that they're not problems and that it's not
Exactly.
affecting them at a core level. It doesn't matter really your socioeconomic status or where you live. Like, struggle is struggle is struggle. And like, yes, like if you want, we could categorize that and like number it, but when it at the heart issue, like it's still affecting that person.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, no,
totally.
exactly.
And I feel like kind of in that same vein, like, so number four of the friendship framework would be support.
Mm-hmm.
So encouraging each other to like grow, to achieve your goals. I think those are like things that really make a friendship thrive, but also, yeah, supporting through the hard times and like being that shoulder to cry on or that ear, or yeah, just all of it. Supporting your friends, like your support group is so important. And that's another thing that I've learned over the last 2 years of like, whoa, I thought certain people were in my support group that actually weren't, but then other people showed up. And when I really needed them, like going through, my parents got divorced last year. Like, I'm 32. What is that? And like, it threw me for a loop. And the people that surrounded me really lifted me up in a way that I didn't expect. And I didn't know that support could be that good. So, yeah, totally.
Right? No, I agree 100%. I've learned that in the last couple of years too, and through this growth journey that like I've seen a lot of people as I've gone through the different phases of my life that have come into and out of my social circles as I've
Yeah.
launched new ventures and closed old chapters behind me. It's funny to watch the different people that surround me and then continue to support along the way. And I feel like that really identifies what makes a friend versus a follower, so to
Yeah.
speak.
Yeah, a follower, or like what's another word for someone that's like a, not like a
Friend
leech, but
versus a
that
fan.
yeah, kind of, yeah, actually. Friend versus a fan, and it's like I don't mean that like in a disrespectful way, but hey, friend, fan, like we're spending time together, but when you're not someone I think that I could reach out to for support. And like you want me around when there's like fun things involved, but like yeah, when I'm going through
Yeah.
it, it's not really there.
Yeah, and I don't
Yeah.
mean fan in a derogatory way. I mean it as
Yeah.
in the sense of like there are several other women that I can think of off the top of my mind that I feel like I have given a lot of unbiased support just constantly, you know, like liking all their posts on Facebook, constantly sharing all of their stuff, trying to make sure that they get a good reputation out there, etc. But then whenever the time comes in reverse, they'll stop sharing whenever it comes to a certain
Yeah.
point, you know, and then whenever they see that I'm like struggling or something, then they'll go and start liking everything and then they'll share it and then they'll kind of reciprocate. But
Mm.
it's never a full support. It's like a support up until you're successful to an extent and then stop and then, oh, actually, now that I'm seeing you're struggling, I'll continue supporting. I feel like that's
Yeah.
something that I've witnessed happen a lot in the last 2 years as I've tried to monitor and build these friendships. And I'm looking for that type of support. You know, that's obvious to me whenever those people are standing by and ready to boost my content, knowing that they support me and what I'm standing for.
Totally. That's something I've been thinking about recently because I like just started like really posting on TikTok and stuff. And I'm like, any one of my friends that I see their stuff, I'm gonna like it. I'm gonna like try to really interact with it because I know that helps them. And then I see like friends that will look at mine, and I mean I'm new, so I don't know that, like I think it's silly that I'm new to TikTok and whatever's gonna happen with it later this month. But then I'll see like people like looking at my stuff and I'm like, wait, why didn't you just like give a little heart, babe? Like like I'm not out here trying to, I'm not like mad or whatever, but I'm like, if we all know what, how the algorithms are working and like how like literally liking something can really support your friend, it feels silly to be like, friend, why didn't you like my shit? But it's also
No,
kind of
it,
confusing.
it happens a lot. And I think that it comes down to an inherent sense of competition in the
Mm.
like economic front, you know, like everybody is
Oh,
trying to do their own thing. I don't know. I really don't know. That's my own speculation is that people don't want to watch others succeed sometimes and not necessarily in a spiteful way, but in a selfish way because they want to see themselves succeed more. That's
yeah.
my assessment of the
I
situation because
didn't
it
want it
happens
to
a
be
lot.
that.
It
I don't want
happens
it to
a
be that.
lot. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. And like the thing is, there's like 6 or 8 billion people on this planet. Like we can, a lot of us are saying very similar things, but it's hitting other people differently because I'm saying it, because you're saying it, because friends saying it. Like our frequencies, our vibrations are going to resonate with specific people that we don't necessarily know, but it's like, yeah, like why be in competition when actually we could all just like lift each other up, 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 up.
Exactly. We can join into the collective. The more people that think a similar way, the more people will behave a better way, um,
Totally.
or at least in the way that's aligned with
Yeah.
that thought,
Oh, that
higher
reminds me
thought.
actually. Yes. So that reminds me of this story that I was listening to before my meditation this morning. It's the starfish story. So this man was at the beach, and there were just like hundreds and hundreds of starfish on that had washed up. And there was a little girl going and throwing all the starfish back into the ocean. And he went up to the little girl and he was like, "Why are you doing that? Like, you're not going to be able to save all of these starfish. There's hundreds. You're not going to actually make that much of a difference." And she picks up another starfish and flings it into the ocean. And she was like, "Well, I made a difference for that one." And so then someone else saw it and they were like, "Oh, yeah." So then everyone came down and they were all throwing starfish in. And then after a while, all the starfish were thrown back into the ocean. And it's like, yeah, like do the
Oh, that's
thing,
amazing.
right? Like supporting each other or just doing the thing, even if you think someone else has already done it. Like you can still make a difference for one person, one starfish. And that action, other people will see it and be inspired by it. And then we can all, like you said, raise the collective consciousness.
Yes, I love it.
Mm.
That reminds me, just because it's top of mind, and we were just watching this video earlier about the fires, but Channel 5 was interviewing another guy that had stayed behind because he happened to be nearby when the fires were at the top of the hill, and then they made their way down the hill because of a spark. But
Uh-huh.
he was explaining that a lot of people think he's crazy because he got out the fire hose, but or the water hose, but he sprayed the neighbors in his area with the water hose, and it actually missed. The entire fire went around their section of the neighborhood, and there's several houses obviously that are just burned to the ground around them, but there's like a little section of
Whoa.
houses that they were able to save by just last minute thinking, getting the faucet, spraying the house around, and keeping all of the grass nice and wet, kept the fire from hitting their houses. Crazy.
That's amazing. Good
Yeah.
for him. Oh, love
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Isn't that
See,
awesome?
like,
Looking out for his neighbors too. Like, it was
yes.
just such a cool story.
That is such a cool story, and I'm so glad that he did that and that those houses were safe. And yeah, it's just such a good reminder that like when we think that something is too small or it's not going to make an impact, but it's a positive thing, like do it because you don't know the ripple effect that it could have.
Mm-hmm. Yep, exactly. Well, then on to our final friendship framework. The last one is fun. So
Yes.
let's not underestimate the importance of laughter and shared joy because the best friendships make life lighter. I just
Dude.
love it.
Yes. Like, yeah, I'm not really into like non-fun friendships.
Yeah, right. I know when we
Like,
were making these five friendship framework components, I was like, is fun really? Yes.
yes,
Actually, if
yes.
I think about a boring friend, I don't think that I want to be hanging out with them.
No, because like what happens when you're having fun? Like you're connecting, you get all these great endorphins and like n- neurotransmitters going. You feel inspired. Like the people that bring out the lightness in you and the softness and like the excitement for life, that
Mm-hmm.
has lasting effects, you know?
Yep.
So fun is
Yeah,
definitely a requirement.
I agree. When it comes down to like fun versus not fun, I guess that's exactly how you would connect the dots, right? Like all of those different connections and those that serotonin release that you get from hanging out with them, even whenever you're just sitting around watching TV or cooking or not doing anything, just sitting on your phone, it's still fun because you're still connecting with them. Whereas whenever it's not even fun to do that, then it's okay, maybe this isn't the right friendship.
Yeah, that's like a good way to kind of like to have another measure. It's like, am I having fun with this person? Every time I hang out with them, I'm not having fun, or I come back feeling drained, or like I come back feeling depressed or just like down. And it's like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean you have to kick that person out of your life, but maybe reevaluate where they are, I guess, like in your support group and like how close and how much time you spend with them, because something that we haven't like really mentioned yet is you're like the people that you hang around. I think it's something
Mm-hmm.
like the 5 people you hang around is like kind of who you're going to be most like. That makes up your personality or something. And so Yeah, like I can think back to when I didn't have very good friends that they brought out the cattiness in me or like the competitiveness, and I would leave hanging out with them feeling drained. And that was kind of my life during that time, that those were the people I was hanging out with, and that was I was like the people that I was hanging out with. And when I like separated myself from that and started spending time with people that bring out the inspiration and the lightness in me like you do, Silver, then like I changed, like it's really
Hmm.
interesting. So we have loyalty, communication, empathy, support, and fun. So if your friendships have these, you're in good shape.
Yeah. So, Cherry, let's make this practical. How can our listeners identify and practice these qualities in their friendships? What do you think?
Well, one thing that I've really learned is to be intentional. So like not just, oh, this is my friend, I know they're my friend, and whatever, I'll just like send them a text, but like really actually carve out that time to connect, whether it be like a FaceTime or meeting for coffee or going for a walk. Like the people that are close to you, it really is important to be intentional about how you are in that relationship, like supporting them, asking for support, and connecting with them.
100%. Jesus and I call ourselves cactus friends because I just love the analogy. Like we become friends with somebody and we don't need to talk to them frequently to know that we love them and for them to know that, or for us to know that they love us, but we still want to support them along the way. So, liking the posts that they share or just reaching out and saying that's a great job. Like we don't have to stay in contact with like a full on conversation, but at least being intentional and letting us know that you still care about the person. I think that that's
Totally.
definitely important.
Like,
You know,
how good does it feel when someone just like sends you like a heart or just like, hey, thinking
for
about you?
sure.
Like, it feels so good. It's just like a hug in the middle of my day if someone does that. Like, totally. And like
Right.
quality over quantity, not just in friends, but in the amount of like time I'm talking to them or texting with them or hanging out with them. Like I don't like you said, we don't have to be in contact every day. And like even us, like we went like a couple of weeks or like months last year like without really like talking at all, but every time we got back together it was just like, oh hey, yeah, perfect, this is good.
Yeah.
Like
Also, I would say practicing active listening. Like active
mm,
listening is going to be so major whenever like somebody's sharing something really important. Tune in, even if it's not important. Tune in, listen to them. Not ignoring what they're saying because you're too busy thinking about the text that just came in on your watch. Put down your
right.
phone, make eye contact, be present in that conversation, and actually hear what they had to say. And it also just makes that relationship so much more meaningful.
100%. Like, yeah, I mean, totally. This is something that, of course, everyone knows or like hears, but I can't like underscore it enough that when someone's on their phone and you're like really trying to connect with them or you're having a conversation and they're like, yeah, yep, it's like, okay, bro, you know what? Never mind. We'll just do this another time because, like, I feel like I know that you're not listening to me. I don't feel like a priority. I don't feel like our friendship, like, whatever I'm saying is important to you. And so, but then when I notice that someone does put their phone down and we're really able to connect, it feels good. Like, that's like an extra, like, I don't know. It's not like just an expectation for me, I guess. Like, at this point, it's kind of like, oh, that feels awesome, which kind of
Yeah,
makes it sound
right.
like I'm either like really happy about it or like pissed, but like
No, I think there's a good balance. So like if somebody is, if they're just already on their phone or if they have something going on and they need to check back in and see what's going on, like I totally understand that. But it's whenever you're trying to just
yes.
chat and get caught up and they're just blatantly ignoring you, like I have plenty of other people I can be talking to right now. I don't need to have your conversation. So if you want to listen to me, then you can listen to me. If you don't, then then that's where I stand. I see. But you're
Yeah.
right though,
Well,
whenever they put the phone down, if it's been in that like gotten to that extent, then it's like, okay, good. Now we're talking.
yeah. Like, okay, so I had a friend call me the other day and we're talking, helping her work through some stuff. And then it goes silent for a little bit and I noticed that they're texting, Like while we're having a conversation, I can like tell that's what's going on because they're like silent for a while and then I'll get like a yeah. And I'm like, bro, why'd you call me if you're gonna just like text while we're having a conversation and not be present for this conversation? Like, yeah, very interesting. And it's like, okay, no love lost. Like, that's not like a friend. I mean, unless it's just like consistently, but even still, it's no love lost. It just helps me understand like the things that I would share with them. And if I have something really important, like maybe it's not going to them because
Yeah,
I
right.
can't trust that they're going to listen.
Yeah. Okay, so I recently have been trying to be more present as well. So whenever people call me, I answer the phone instead of, letting it go to voicemail because that is definitely a toxic trait that I have had for most of my life is to just ignore, and if it needs a response, I'll respond. But I'm trying to be better now and responsive, and I also try to talk to my friends more and just chatty, not doing anything, we're just hanging out over the phone type of way. And so now I'm more open to those conversations, but I'm also still learning where the boundary lies with that because sometimes I'll get on a call and I'm just like, what do I do? Like, are we calling to talk or are we calling to sit and look at each other?
Right?
Which I
Like,
like both, but I think it's not knowing is where the confusion comes from. Because then I'm like, I really love you. I love your presence and I love being on this phone call, but what are we doing?
what are we doing? And I kind of have other things to do. Totally. Like, yeah, I think that you guys are really great and intentional about having phone calls. I love chatting on the phone with you, and I definitely understand that it can also be an exercise in setting boundaries for yourself. It's like, friend, I want to be here for you. Like, I have 30 minutes or an hour for us to just like chat and bullshit, or if there's something that we really need to talk about, but then I need to get back to my life. And
Hmm.
that's okay. It's okay.
Yep.
Every opportunity for boundary is, or to create a boundary or to, I guess, share a boundary, I think is an opportunity for growth because some people, and in the past, maybe I viewed it as restrictive or not even like kind of like a punishment or something of like, oh, you don't have time for me, like you already gave me 45 minutes but you don't have another hour for, you know what I mean? And so then when I had this mentor tell me, she was like, my boundaries are skin tight right now. I'm setting a timer for 45 minutes because that's what I have. I love you. It doesn't mean that I don't want to spend all day with you. That's just what I have to give. And I was like, I love that. That's so goddess of her. Like, that's so badass. That
Yeah,
she just like knew that. And I didn't feel any less love in that conversation or from her whatsoever. It's just a lot of respect for, yes, protect your time, protect your energy.
I
And
love
so
that.
kind of like, yeah, like I feel like kind of on that note is like not being afraid to address conflicts. Not that boundaries are conflicts, but until someone maybe really understands boundaries and how they're a really good thing and they can be freeing, it can kind of feel like a conflict. And then also when boundaries are broken, it's important to share that, with your friend and like you were talking about earlier, to speak up like, hey, this is what didn't work for me, like this is what my expectation was, this is a boundary that I set and this is where it was crossed. And when we don't do that, like we just create space for resentment to build. And also like something I went through recently is like, hey friend, I'm hurt about something, I'm not really sure what went on, I want to repair the connection, let me know what I did. And they were just like, well, when someone hurts me, I just sit back and just see what transpires. And I'm like, well, that tells me that you don't care about our friendship or our connection enough to repair it. I care
Hmm.
about you, and I don't want any resentment to build, and I don't want to just sit on this confusion about where we stand. Like,
Hmm.
I'm going to bring it to you. I mean, of course, you approach it with kindness and a desire to understand and to grow.
Right. If not, then that's not building the friendship. It's not a relationship. It's one-sided. Back to what we were saying earlier about the one-sided
Yeah,
friendships that you're putting in all the effort. Yeah, no.
definitely.
And I think it's also important to acknowledge how we address conflict. because having a simple
Mm.
conversation with a person is going to be so much more impactful, especially as a goddess, not blasting people on Facebook right off the
Oof.
bat. I know I have definitely been guilty of that in the past, a few years ago. Okay, it was a few years ago now. I took it down. Um, I have learned since then. Now the only people that I blast are people that truly deserve it.
And if you deserve it, be warned. You have been warned, you
Yes.
will be blasted.
Yes.
We're not afraid of conflict.
Yeah. Exactly. But if it's like a minor conflict with a friend, you know, like you felt disrespected, like, oh, well, you really should have taken care of that thing that you accidentally took from me. You should have taken care of it better and then handled it with caution in the future, or handled it with care, giving it back to me or something like that. You know, it would be better to have that conversation directly than to hold on to it and be like, well, I don't know. They did something with it, but I don't really know what happened. And then you hold on to that resentment against them for doing something because you never actually addressed the conflict. So, I mean,
Right.
boundaries are a great preventative for conflict, but they're not the end all be all
Yes.
because accidents happen. And then addressing whatever happens is going to be the real um, cherry on top as to whether or not
Mhm.
that friendship is worth it.
Love that. And I totally, totally agree with you on that. Because then, like, if we don't address it, then it leaves the opportunity for that situation to happen again. And then you're like, damn, why'd they do that
Mm-hmm.
to me again? And it's like, well, they didn't know that you weren't okay with that in the first place. And if someone is upset by that, I mean, you can give them time to like work through whatever they need, but it's also like, oh, another measure of how close I'm going to let this person, how much access I'm going to give them to me, how close I'm going to be to them in my life, that there are some conflicts. Because I also read something on Instagram that I've been kind of thinking about since I read it. That's like a sign of maturity. Something around like a sign of maturity is to sit back or just like let it be, or like sit back and see what transpires, or to not be bothered, or like if someone does something to just let it and then like you move forward. And I'm like, yes and no. Like there are certain people that, okay, yeah, whatever. Like that annoyed me or that crossed a boundary for me, but I'm just gonna distance myself from them, and I don't even need to like necessarily bring it up because I don't. They're not like, I guess, in my super tight support center or circle. Do you know what
Like
I'm saying?
like they're an acquaintance versus a friend.
Yeah. Yeah, like an acquaintance, and or I'm just realizing that they're on a totally different path than I thought that we were.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, okay, I don't, if the opportunity arises, but I'm not going to reach out and be like, "Hey, just so you know, whatever, blah blah blah, you hurt my feelings." And but this isn't someone that I consider to be very close. So it's
Yeah,
kind
you
of
know,
choosing.
that reminds me of two things. The first being last night I was watching a video while I was doing my vision board. And it was an influencer that has been making vision boards for a very long time. And um, I was listening to like her ways to prepare for 2025 and how to be a classy bitch or something like that. And she was like, one thing is not seeking conflict. It is avoiding conflict because you're a classy woman. We don't have arguments or something like that. And I was like, no,
Mm,
no, this is 2025. We are
mm,
not there. Like everything
yeah.
else she said, I loved her video. And then whenever she said that, I was like, hang on a second, turn this off. I don't want to be classy if that means we're just going to let people walk all over me.
Right.
Like, that's not classy
Totally.
because then you're frustrated. And then you have really terrible people at the top of the totem pole, like what we're dealing with right now. Like, there's
Totally.
a lot of really terrible people that have rose to the top because people kept their mouths shut for the sake of looking good and being classy.
Yeah.
But then the second thing I wanted to say or touch on with this is whenever there is a conflict, one thing that I have really enjoyed learning is Dare to Lead by Brene Brown. And in her book Dare to Lead, she recommends saying rumble whenever you have something really difficult that you want to discuss. Let's rumble. And so
Ooh,
it's a
I
really
like
good opener if you have like a really tough conversation. Sometimes I'll say it to Jesus whenever I don't know how to have a conversation about something that happened in our relationship, and they're like, "Okay, we
Mm,
need to stop. We need to have a rumble." And then that's whenever you say the really tough thing to say,
yeah.
and it just kind of prepares the situation.
I love that. That's awesome. I'm so glad that you guys do that. I'm definitely going to take that with me. Um, yeah, because there needs to be that space to be like, hey, I'm going to say something that like we might have like different opinions on. And so, yeah, let's rumble. And it
Hmm.
just like creates that safe space to say it and to understand that, yeah, that we're going to work through some shit right now.
Exactly. Or another one is the story I'm telling myself. That's another really impactful phrase whenever you don't know for sure that what you're seeing is necessarily the case. You know that would be something that's more aligned with feelings and emotions. You're not sure where they stand. I feel like a rumble is whenever something happened and you know for sure that that's not what you like, and you know that is going to cause an
Mhm.
argument to discuss. Versus like if you
Mhm.
think it's like it's an emotional situation and you're like, I really don't know how I felt about the way you're talking to so and so, you can say the story I'm telling myself is that when you were having that conversation it felt like you were getting emotionally involved, blah blah blah, and
Mm,
then it doesn't
mhm,
sound
mhm.
accusational. And this is what
Totally.
I that's what
Yeah.
I think. Tell
The
me why I'm
I
wrong.
statements. I statements over you statements all day long. And I think I love that too because like sometimes we don't actually necessarily have to have that full like understanding of where we're at, and especially with good friends like I want friends that have that space to be like, "Hey, so this is what I'm kind of working through. These are the things that I'm feeling. I'm still confused. I'm assuming positive intent with you, friend. Um, so can you give me some clarity here? Or like let's work on this, together. But this is why I'm feeling instead of like,
Exactly.
you suck, friend. Why?
Exactly. Exactly. So, and while we're on that note, let's not to forget to celebrate our friends. Like, just like we want to always
Yes.
have fun, let's also celebrate and say, I appreciate you. You know, I, I saw what you did and I want you to know that I loved it. Thank you so much. Just recognizing and acknowledging their actions and their wins can go a really long way in that friendship and making everybody comfortable and a deeper bond ultimately.
Definitely. Oh my gosh, I totally agree. And kind of like what we were saying earlier, just like your friends' posts, why not?
Exactly. Exactly.
Celebrate your friends. Because as much as like it feels so good to have when everyone is like, oh, I see that you did that thing and you rock, everyone wants that. And sometimes people feel like a little bit embarrassed or like hesitant about sharing their wins. And I don't want that for my friends. Every good thing, call me, let me know, and we will dance and celebrate together because why not?
Exactly. Exactly. Why not?
Awesome. So Luna, what's one thing that you've learned from our friendship?
Mm. Oh man. I feel like I've learned so many things. Like just from the time I feel like I really got to know you whenever we came into town, and you sent me my horoscope. That was a moment of like real bonding. I feel like that's when we finally started to see each other like for who
Yes.
we were. But I
Yeah.
would say the real lesson that I've learned from our friendship is your listening and your understanding, your empathy. Like that's exactly why I called you whenever I was at the party having a panic attack last
Mm.
week. Like I
Oh,
I call
babe.
you because I know that I am going to have somebody that cares about me, that's going to listen to me and that's going to help me with what I'm going through and not think about like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm just really distracted right now." Like I can call you and I know that you're going to have my best interest at heart.
Oh my gosh, don't make me cry. Like that fills my cup so much because that is the kind of friend I want to be. And I can't tell you how good it felt. Like I hated that you were going through a tough time, but the fact that you were like, okay, call Cherry, I was just like, oh my god, I'm the person. I like, yes, I'm here for you. I got you. And like, it felt really good to be that for you. Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. Definitely. I feel like it definitely strengthened our relationship a lot too. Just knowing I can call you and you answer the phone. That's big.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And I feel like for what I've learned from our friendship from you in addition to just being like constantly inspired and like just do the damn thing. Like anything you want. I just love how you see the world and how you see beauty and so much. Like all of your posts are artistic and they can be about the most random thing. You're like, look at this, so beautiful, and like, yes. Or it's like just you and like your confidence. But I think more than anything, you are so intentional about being honest and open and like connection focused, and you give people the benefit of the doubt, and you really just like want people to grow, so you're always going to say the hard thing, like, and it always comes from a place of love, and like that is really really felt, and it,
Oh,
yeah,
thank
inspires
you.
me to be even more honest in all of my friendships, so
Oh, thank you,
yeah.
babe. That means so much because I have definitely worked really hard on that, and it is only in the last few years that I have been so laser focused on being intentional and focused on connection because I did not used to
uh,
be that way. Growth.
it's definitely noticed. It's definitely noticed for sure.
Thank you. Awesome.
Yeah. And like and Jesus, like having conversations like you and Jesus and me and G is so fun. I feel like we're like, I don't know, healing parts of the world when we talk through some stuff.
I
It's really
agree. We have
special.
a really beautiful quad relationship too. Like G and
Yeah.
Jesus are so similar and so are we, but we all have our own very distinct differences and it's
Yes.
awesome. It's a great combination to build off of. So we all have our own
Definitely.
strengths. Honestly, having fun with you is the cherry on top of everything. No pun intended.
I love that. Oh, your friendship to me shoots me over the moon, Silver Luna.
Oh, that's so cute.
Oh my god. Okay. So I know we're kind of like coming to the end, but I wanted to hear about your inspo board, your vision board.
Yes, I
And
was just about to
yeah,
ask the
like
same.
yay.
Yes. Okay, so I got it finished. Should I go take it down and show you?
Yeah,
Or is
let's
that
do it.
okay? So it was actually pretty fun to make, although, like I was telling you, I got a little lost in the sauce on YouTube and watched way too many vision board inspo videos. And I got myself a little bit down the rabbit hole of goal setting and
Love that.
level setting. No, and I'm like, okay,
Great rabbit hole.
yeah,
Like
great rabbit hole, except that it was like really, really late. It was like 2 a.m. I was still
oh.
not even starting to glue things down. I was like, okay, hold on, I need to take a step back. But, anyways, so here's my vision board. So I
Ooh.
will show you. So here's I was thinking about you actually whenever I made this. My little goals
Oh,
and little wins. They're little beads like little candy
I love
bracelets.
it. Yeah.
And that way I figured I can fill in my goals as they come up throughout the year because I definitely have several. Make six-figure income, hopefully that's
Yeah,
realistic.
girl.
And then wins so far. I've released episode 1 of Going Goddess and episode 1 of Lifestyle 101. So we already have 2 wins on the board.
Woo!
Um, Return to Burning Man. I want to go back this year because last year we went to Love Burn.
Mm,
So this year we're going to go to Burning Man instead. Make more money. I really want to get my boobs done. It's definitely high on the list. That is
yes.
by the end of the year
Hey.
has to happen.
Oh
Um,
shit. Yes. Let's go.
so yeah, I'm excited. And then let's see. This is for our podcast. I want to get better at journaling or at podcasting and editing and all that.
Oh,
Relax, eat healthy,
yeah.
win an award for our podcast, make change,
Ooh. I love that.
go to more events. So yeah.
Ah, that's so good. All amazing goals.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah, I love
And
it
then
too.
and so it'll be up behind me going forward. That way it's right here in my office as soon as I walk in because the same room is also where I work and make my other podcast. So it's very inspiring to see it as like the focal point of the
Yeah,
room.
totally. Same.
Yeah.
That's what I
All
do
right,
with
your
mine.
turn.
So, okay. So this is like kind of more of an inspo board, I guess. Then, but I mean, like, there's goals on here. So, like, uncomplicate your life. I want magic, glow, and that for me is like better skin, which I'm like already starting to get from going alcohol free. Badass with a good ass. We just want to keep that going.
Already
Um,
there too.
Paradise Island. I definitely want to go to the beach, and actually, I really want to visit y'all. Um,
Yes.
then I have like improv stuff on here because I'm in an improv class and it's really fun. Dancing, I definitely want to do more dancing this year and like actually go to some hip hop classes and get back into that. Um, Tranquility, more hugs. I want to go to Greece, and I have money on here. The one that's funny that says diamonds might be Marilyn Monroe's best friend, but this girl would swoon over a portfolio of well tended stocks. So if anyone wants
Ooh,
to
true.
set me up with a little stock portfolio, feel free. and and then it just has stuff like, don't rush me, soft life, about like, yeah, like being softer and like chill, but soft and unstoppable is what I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
um and yeah, so this is just going to be really fun for me to like look at, and I love all the colors, and it just keeps me super inspired. I love that it has like restore balance. I will sing until the miracle comes, like more singing. So yeah, this
Yay.
is yes.
Oh, I love it. That's
Um
awesome. And I love that it
yeah,
matches your background. It looks
me
so nice.
too. Hopefully that'll stay. Okay, good. And we had a baddie in the Goddess Collective group share her amazing vision board, and it was beautiful. I loved
Oh my
looking at
gosh.
it.
Yes, Gabby's vision board was gorgeous. She's so stylish. Like everything she does is so beautifully moody. She also does wood burning. She's one of my favorite local artists from the Tulsa area. So shout out to Gabby, ATIA Creations. So she's awesome.
ATO Creations. Okay, well we
Hmm.
can tag her in the episode notes or on our one of our posts for sure. So yeah, if
Definitely.
you guys have some stuff and you guys want shout outs on the podcast, interact on our Goddess Collective group on Facebook, and you might find yourself a little shout out, a little tag action. We're all here to
Hmm.
support each other, you know.
We love our goddesses.
Yes, we do so much.
Awesome. Well, as we wrap up, let's leave our listeners then with a little challenge. This week, let's think about one of your friendships. What's one thing you can do to strengthen
Mm.
it? What can you do to make that bond just a little bit stronger? Maybe, I don't know. What do you think, Cherry?
Well, I think one fun idea would maybe set up a time to make your vision board together. Like that's a really fun friendship activity to get all of that like good energy going and to like inspire each other, and it's great. It's also a good like reflective like personal thing. But yeah, the goddess
Vision
board or
board party.
talking about it. Yes. Yeah, I called it goddess board, but yeah, pretty much same time.
It is, basically.
Yeah. Or if you make it on your own, call your friend and be like, hey, let's FaceTime. I want to show you what my goals are. And yeah, I think that's really important.
Absolutely.
So, oh, and there's one other thing I want to say because I'm proud of myself and we're about sharing what we're proud of on this. So, with this vision board, a couple of years ago, I made another one with a group of friends that unfortunately were part of a friend group that I had to let go of. And you guys will hear more about that on next week's episode of Going Rogue, Friends Going Rogue. But um, it was a really great vision board, but there were still some pieces that were missing. And I was like, oh, I'll just take this with me and I'll fill in the pieces. Well, that was 2 years ago, and I never filled the pieces in. And it's been sitting in a closet, and I see it, and I'm like, oh, like I never finished that. Like, I hate that I'd never finished that, but I feel weird because like made this with this group of people and like whatever. And on this one, I actually took the pieces off that vision board that I liked, cut them out, and put it on this one. And this one's totally completed. And so it just kind of like, I don't know, healed something there of like, yes, you can complete things. And that was a tough thing that you went through, but there was also beauty and growth that came from it. And we're going to put that on the inspo board because we're taking, we're not like just forgetting the past. We're going to take the things that we've learned and the beautiful pieces and apply it to what we want for the future.
That is so awesome. I love that. That's closure from an old relationship, an old life, basically. It's just
Yeah.
the end of an era, but the start of a new. Which
Yes.
actually, that reminds me another thing that we should be boosting ourselves up for. Both of us did it on accident without coordinating, but we both asked for a promotion in the last couple of weeks without
We did.
even talking to each other about it. Um, Go
I
us.
love that. Yes. Get that money. We're like, oh, we're going goddess. So we're going to need a little bit more money for that. Thank
Yes, yes. Yeah, so I just briefly, I want you to share with other goddesses how you took that leap to ask your manager for promotion and how it went.
Totally. So, I had my 1 year anniversary at my job, and I've never asked for a raise before. And I was listening to some podcasts about doing the thing, like do the hard thing, just ask for it. What's the worst that's going to happen? They're going to say no. So it was actually with my like chief operating officer. We have our monthly one-on-one, and I was like, okay, I took a deep breath and I'm like, okay, this is very awkward for me to ask you, but I'm just wondering how you guys feel about, raises on my 1 year. What is your thoughts around like a 3 to 5% raise? And she was just like, I am so proud of you for asking. I'm just so proud of you for asking. Like, we need to have our 1 year annual review, so we'll get that scheduled after the conference coming up in a few weeks. But that's a hard thing to do. And no, it's not awkward. And I'm just so proud. And like that alone felt so good to have her just be like, I'm so proud of you for doing that. And I was floating on that feeling like the rest of the day. So fingers crossed, baddies, that they're like, yes, and actually we want to give you a 10% raise. But
Oh
yeah, it
man,
felt
fingers
really good to
crossed. I
do
hope
that.
so.
Yeah.
Oh, that is awesome. Oh man, good
What
luck. I
about
can't wait to
you?
hear. So
Thank you.
I just recently completed my capstone project, which is
Woo!
yeah, it's kind of like my graduation, so to speak, in the role that I'm in.
It's
And
huge.
it was huge. It was a 24-page presentation. It took about 15 minutes to deliver my customer story, which is basically explaining how I made an impact on my customer's bottom line and how I also impacted my company, etc. So to finish that capstone basically solidified my role. So I was like, okay, now that I've finished my capstone, maybe I can apply for the next level up. Right now, I'm a level 2, and the next level that I'm trying to get to is a senior. After that would be
Mm,
consultant. But the senior
mm.
level, my understanding is that senior level is the 6-figure level. So once I get to that,
Ooh,
between base
yes.
pay and bonus commission, it would be over 6 figures. So I'm like, okay, deal. Um,
Yo,
so I
we'll take that.
yeah, so I reached out to my manager and I was like, hey, whenever I first applied to this position, I accidentally applied for the senior level position and I got the job, but he said that I applied for a position that I was underqualified for. So they opened up my role to reapply, but technically I already had it. So long story short, they opened this position for me at a lower level. So I asked my manager if I could be eligible for an in-seat promotion where they raised me up without having to apply to the next level. So
Yeah.
he said, in order to do that, because right now we are in a hiring freeze, and there were actually some layoffs that I learned about earlier
Ooh,
this week. But
oof.
because we are in a hiring freeze, he said that there is actually a possibility that that could happen. So he's going to talk to our director, and then I'd have to go up to the SVP for approval. But there is still very much a chance that it could happen. So,
Yeah. Yay. Fingers crossed. Sending all the good vibes.
yes, you too. We got
Thank
this.
you. Yeah, that's so exciting. And the best part about, being a baddie, being a goddess is that if it doesn't work out, that just means there's something else coming to us. Like it's
Exactly.
always happening for our highest good. I believe that.
Yeah, and now
You got
we've
to
put
believe
the
it.
yeah, now we put the footwork in, so our management and our leadership knows that we're trying to move up to the next level too. So we'll be the first on
Yes.
the
Oh
list.
my, how dope. I'm so proud of us.
I know, me too. Go us.
It's so good. So, yeah, so in addition to like hanging out or doing something for a friend or to like nurture a friendship this week, if you have anything that you were nervous about that you just did it, you just bit the bullet and you went for it, we definitely want to hear about that. We definitely want to celebrate you. And that's something that we can also, shout out on the pod as well, because you deserve to be celebrated for doing the hard thing.
Yes,
It's, like,
exactly.
absolutely.
I feel like with it being the new year too, more listeners than normal have probably done something really hard in the last couple of weeks. So please
Yes.
share with us in our
Yes.
Goddess Collective. Go to the Facebook group, share with
Yes.
us your story, or even just send it to us through a message. We're on socials with at Going Goddess, with the exception of our page on Facebook is Going Goddess with Cherry and Silver, Silver Luna.
Yes.
But
Yeah,
we want to
but
hear it.
definitely. We want to hear your stories. We want to hear what inspired you and what questions you might have about friendships or really anything, because we'll
Hmm.
definitely answer them on the podcast. So I think that's kind of it for today, Silver. What do you think?
I think so. Thanks for joining us on this journey. Remember, we are a brand new podcast, so please like, share, and subscribe. We would much appreciate it.
Yes.
Until next time, stay radiant
Stay empowered and
and keep
keep
going, Goddess.
going, Goddess. Love y'all.